Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. This is the 1UP Nitro National Series, and we are at round number 11 of 25, and we are on the outskirts of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, at the beautiful Steelback Stadium for round number 11 of this hotly contested 1UP Nitro National Series season. Alongside me in the booth today, as always, is Duke Ansack, and some big stories coming into today. We've had a very close battle for the points lead up front between Sam Dinoto in the 00, Alex Forget-Berube in the 3, separated by just 1 point. There's rumors that Team Dayspring might scale back one of their drivers if they're not performing up to spec, and there's a lot of big stories like I just mentioned. Those two being chief among them. What do you think? What is your big stories of the weekend going into this?
Well, I think you hit the nail right on the head there. We've got a fantastic points battle going on here coming into this track. It's a short track, so the tempers are going to flare. You know, it's going to be one of those things where we always get a lot of exciting racing in this series, and I'm sure that today will be no different because of the track type. And yeah, the Team Dayspring guys, they're all kind of a little bit on the fence here now because they've gotten that threatening message, you know, that you got to do better for the team here. But and they all heard it. And they made it known that they heard it because they all qualified in the top 10. So we're going to be watching those cars for sure today, and just to see what they're able to do after that, and see if they can step up their performance. So I'm excited to watch this race, though. I think it's going to be a really good one.
Looking at the starting lineup, you can see one of their drivers, Francois Chastain, tied for the pole award with Peter Onjak, losing out to the driver of the 70 based on owner's point, but Chastain still in a very nice position in second place, right ahead of his teammate Devin Fair in fourth, and the team owner of Team Dayspring in that 01 car was Zachary DeLello, not too far behind in seventh position, and we got both of the Moto Dash racing cars in the top 10 as well. We've got the 3 starting up in the top 10 as well. We've got Sam Dinoto starting a bit of a ways back, though, so it's going to be interesting to see where these guys line up as far as the points battle shapes out. But what are you going to keep an eye on for as this day progresses? We got 120 laps around this place.
Yeah, you know, and 120 laps, that's a lot of time in this race, so I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye on Sam Dinoto and Alex in the 3 car there, because, you know, they always seem to find their way up front. That's how they're getting consistently good finishes every single week. They'll get up there. It's just a matter of when and how far up they'll get. They're the 2 in the points battle, so it's going to be really interesting to watch, for sure, watch them come up through the pack. So I'm watching those guys, and then, of course, the Team Dayspring guys I'm watching as well.
So with that being said, the cars are lined up on the grid, and we are ready to bring you the action live from the Steelback Stadium. This is the 11th race of the 1UP Nitro National Series season in 2021, and the green flag is next. With Peter Onjak and Francois Chastain on the front row, the field makes its way off of turn 4. The green flag is in the air, and we're underway here at Pittsburgh. We've got Onjak extending his lead a little bit, but don't look now, because Chastain's going to make a run. Oh, Jared Jackson's going to make a move on the inside. This is for the lead. They come up turn 2 side by side. They snake their way down the back straightaway, but I think Onjak's going to get the lead right here for keeps.
Yeah, you know, and this is a really wide racetrack that they're racing on here, and the preferred groove is a little bit off of the bottom, so if you're able to enter the corner a little bit higher and then cut low coming off of the corner, you're able to get a little bit of a run, but it didn't work out for Jared Jackson right there. He's going to stay in second place, and oh, there's a little bit of contact with teammates behind him.
That's Chastain and Fair in the 01 and 10. They made a little bit of contact off of 2 in their side-by-side battle for third position. It looks like Devin Fair will take that spot from Francois Chastain as DeGroat and Anderson battle behind him for 5th. Anderson drops back a little bit as we make our way back up to the front. Peter Onjak continues to lead the way ahead of Jackson and Fair. These 3 are starting to break away a little bit from the rest of the pack that is from 4th on back, a very tight gaggle of cars.
So Devin Fair was just racing with his teammate in 4th place, and that group has fallen behind a little bit, but Devin Fair was able to catch up to these leaders, so I think that he's got a fast car underneath him. He's just got to get up there, and he's got to be a little patient. You know, it's only lap 4. It's a 120-lap race, so you want to be patient here. You don't want to mess up your stuff too soon.
And Devin Fair is one of the best short track racers we have here. His equipment might not show it all the time, but he is one of our greatest short track racers. Could this be the day he gets his first career win and the first for Team Dayspring? We mentioned at the top of the show the issues that team had been facing. They're mired deep in the points battle, all outside the top 20. So a win for Devin Fair, or for any of those guys really, would be a huge help for that organization as a whole as we navigate through lap 6 with Peter Onjak enjoying a very healthy lead up front.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about the winning. You know, when you get a win, it's huge for the team. It's a motivational boost. It's an advertising boost. It's a momentum boost too. You know, and all of those things kind of dwindle as you run worse and worse every single week. So that whole team is kind of on a low right now. There's a little bit of motivation coming into this week just because of the dire situation they're in, and look at that, 2 of them are running in the top 5 right now, and they all qualified in the top 10. So it's really turning around so far this week. And Devin Fair is pushing Jared Jackson. He is really trying to get by him right here.
They're all chasing Onjak in the 70, though. Jackson makes a move to the inside. It doesn't look like it's going to work, but that will allow Devin Fair to close back in on Jackson a little bit. Fair makes a move. It doesn't quite work. They stay 1, 2, 3 in that order right now. Onjak continues to lead the way. This is the most laps led Onjak has led in the race this season. So it's a good run from the 70 car, who really needed a good run. They're on the outskirts of the top 12 in points. I believe they went into today just on the fringe of making the playoffs here so far this season. But they really need a boost. They need a boost as well. The Anjado team really need a boost as well, as Fair makes a move way to the outside of Jackson to try and take second spot, but I don't think it's going to work here.
I've been watching this battle, and it looks like Jackson's running that defensive line on the bottom down the backstretch, and Devin Fair is on the outside trying to make it work, and he's getting a little bit of a run. There's a little bit of progressive banking, and it looks like he's going to clear him going into this turn right here. Look at that, Devin Fair up to second place.
And now he's only got Peter Onjak between him and the race lead. We've got 10 laps complete. We're cycling through lap 11 right now. Devin Fair continues to hold steady in second place, behind Peter Onjak, who had a lead of about half a second the last time by. We'll see what it says this time around on the scorecards. Right now, that Fair has chopped the gap down by about a tenth or so. He's got a 4/10 of a second lead now, does Peter Onjak. And now, with Devin Fair and Jared Jackson closing in, and Francois Chastain in that 10 car, starting to close the gap in as well.
Yeah, he is. You know, both of those cars, it looks like they found their rhythm a little bit. That was a really nice pass around the outside that 01 had. That was nice. I like seeing that, you know, around the outside there, because generally the shorter way around is the faster way around, but obviously the 01 found a little something up there, and he's going to make it work for him. And he's still closing in. You can see it every time by. They're just getting a little bit closer.
And right now the gap is 2/10 of a second between Fair and Onjak. But Jackson's still making it a challenge. But here comes Fair to the outside of Peter Onjak for the lead. They're going to go be side by side for 3 and 4. I think Onjak's just going to be able to hold him off, though, on this lap. So Onjak will hold serve in first place, with Devin Fair hot on his heels in second. This is the greatest run Devin Fair has had all season long by far, and he just wants to capitalize. He wants, as much as he'd like to be content with a top 5 finish in front of second here right now, he knows that the lead is right in front of him, and he knows he can get it.
Absolutely. He is fighting hard for this one. He knows that if he can get out front, he can stay out front, because it obviously is difficult to pass right now. So he's going to try the chop move here. He's going to go low, and it's not going to... Oh, he's still going to stay low there. It's not going to be enough here. I think that outside lane is going to be his best bet, to be completely honest. The last time he got to the outside lane, Jared Jackson was on the inside, and he was able to push Onjak out ahead again a little bit there. But now Jackson has fallen back a little bit. He's almost a second behind them, so it's kind of just a one-on-one battle here for the lead, and I think that Devin Fair is going to be able to get out there. I think he's going to do it.
He just needs the right line, and he needs enough patience right now in the Mike and Ike Chevrolet, because we've still got 103 laps to go in this race, so anything is still within the realm of possibility here, as both the championship contenders right now running in the top 10, but our focus right now is at the front of the field with a new cast of characters you don't often see at the front of the field, with Devin Fair, Francois Chastain, Felix Anderson, Peter Anjak, all heading the field at this point in time, with Jared Jackson, a perennial contender, in the top 10 sandwiched in between. But this is a very unique top 5, and it's what we love about this type of racing. If these short tracks always equalize the field a little bit, almost like a super speedway, in essence, or a road course, or anything really. This is a very diverse series as far as parity, and as Anjak starts to pull away a little bit from this battle for the lead, it's still a very diverse series, and that's what I really love about it.
Absolutely. You know, we've got all these different contenders running even ahead of the series points leaders. You know, we got the 3 in 7th and the 00 in 10th right now, you know, and we've got 6 guys in front of them that don't really run up front terribly often, you know, and it's interesting. We've got 3 different track types that kind of equalize the field, and this is one of them, so it's really good. And I'm watching this battle for second place, and I'm noticing that the 23 car, maybe he learned a little bit of something from Devin Fair when he got past, because I saw him try that outside lane a couple times. It wasn't really working quite as well for the 23 like it did for the 01, but I think that's the passing lane, you know, on the outside lane. If you can get up there, squeeze them on entry of the corner, you're going to force the person you're trying to pass to let off the throttle more through the middle of the corner, and then you're going to be able to get the run on the outside in the banking. So we'll see how it goes, to see if the 01 is able to do it again with the 70, but he's got to get there first. You know, he's got to get back up there, so we'll see. They're still pretty close.
And looking at the scoring monitor, it's 0.4 of a second, the gap between Anjak and Fair, going through 1 and 2 on lap 24. He's still got a vast majority of this race still to go. But now the top 5 have distanced themselves quite a bit from 6th place, able to grow in the 5. So now it's just these 5 cars battling for the top spot with varying degrees of closeness to that top spot. With Fair making a move on the inside, he's going to...
It comes to the bottom.
It's not going to work, I don't think, because Anjak still has that outside line, and he's cleared Fair once again. So if Devin Fair wants to make this pass work, he's going to need to get to Anjak's outside and like you said, force him to let off more in the corner, because the brakes take a pounding at this place. It's a low banked racetrack with a tight corner, tight turns. So the brakes take a pounding here, and hopefully these guys manage them wisely.
Yeah, you know, that's another thing. You really gotta run some strong brakes, like steel brakes or something here at Steelback Stadium. That would be a terrible idea. Don't do that. But you know, it's really interesting. And you know, I'd like to say about, as we maybe have a move for the lead here.
Here comes Fair to the outside of Peter Anjak. They're going to be side by side off of 4. Who's going to take the lead? It looks like Devin Fair is going to get the nose on Anjak, and Fair takes the lead of this race as Anjak goes spinning off into turn 1 off the bumper of Jared Jackson. The caution flag is flying here on lap 28 of 120.
Oh gosh.
A battle for the lead that just went awfully wrong for Peter Anjak. The caution flag is back out. Devin Fair will lead them to the yellow flag, but man, went from 0 to 100 really quickly here.
Oh my gosh.
At this racetrack. So as the pace car picks up Devin Fair, Jared Jackson, Chastain, Anderson, and the rest, they'll all head for pit road to register for service. But that was a bizarre incident that involved a pole setter and the man who dominated the first part of this race, Peter Anjak.
Yeah, it almost looked like maybe when Devin Fair squeezed him down there a little bit, he let off the throttle and Jared Jackson just kind of hit him. Had nowhere to go, didn't know he was going to slow up that much. So we'll see in the replays for sure what actually happened. That's just my remembering of what it was. But yeah, that was a very dramatic corner. We had to change for a lead change there, and then we also had a crash with the previous leader. So that was surprising.
Pit stops now the order of the day here at Pittsburgh, and Peter Anjak will not be very happy with the 23 of Jackson as the field cycles in to their pits. And we will see. It looks like there's actually a bit of a holdup in the pits for several of the front runners. Jackson being held up a little bit. Chastain being held up. Devin Fair is going to win the race off pit road ahead of it looks like Able to Grow in second place because because Chastain and Jackson being held up quite a bit in the pit lane. I'm not sure if both of them have an issue or not, but look at all the cars that are getting past them here. You got Keith Hughes, Matthew Polanski, Dylan Young, Corbett, Martinez, Autumn Koger in her series debut. But man, a lot of these cars being held up in the pits, as we're going to take a look now at what happened to Peter Onjak in that number 70 Toyota. So this was the battle for the lead. Onjak is on the inside line. He's forced to check up a little bit, and Jackson just gets into his right rear and sends him off into a spin. Very bizarre situation to happen, but that can happen at these short tracks. When you're battling for the lead, contact is pretty much inevitable in such tight confines, and well, from there, that was just an unfortunate break for Peter Onjak. So Onjak will settle will probably go a lap down after repair work being made to his Toyota Camry, but now a lot of cars actually a lap down. Critically for the championship, picture, Alex Forget-Berube in the 3 now a lap down. This is not at all what that team wanted to see, because now the top 10's shuffled up completely. We don't have that many cars left on the lead lap. I think we have about 22, 23, 4. When I do the math here, yeah, 23 cars on the lead lap. Something must have happened in the pits to trap all these poor people a lap down.
That is a very surprising outcome to this caution flag we've had. But that's only going to make it more difficult for all of these drivers who are side lane in the lead lap. They're going to be trying to race for position with a bunch of cars that they are, I assume, equally as fast because they were on the lead lap. So we'll see how it goes. We're going green right now. Devin Fair leads it the way into turn 1.
Green flag back in the air at Pittsburgh, and Devin Fair, like you said, gets a good run around the outside. Will he clear Stevenson here? The answer to that is yes, he will. So Fair has a pretty solid lead ahead of him. Able to Grow trying to fight Stevenson to try and clear him. Zachary Jolello now up to third, another Team Dayspring car. They'd love to be joined by their teammate Francois Chastain, but he was one of those poor drivers trapped there a lap down on the pit stop. So only 2 of the Team Dayspring cars left in the top 10, but it's still a good run for this team. They really need their cars to be running well. And right now, with Sam Dinoto running in 4 and Alex in the 3 running a lap down, this could really turn the tide for the championship battle.
I was just about to mention that. That's a huge points gap right there. If the 00 car can just stay where he is and finish this race in the top 5, and there's no more cautions or anything that would allow the 3 to get back up there, it's really going to be a big gap after this race for Sam Dinoto ahead of everybody. But we're watching the 03 right now, who is running in 3rd. You know, so they kind of, the Dayspring cars, they kind of swapped positions a little bit. With Francois Chastain was running 3rd, and now it's the 03 car. So it's something fascinating. But he's got Sam Dinoto, a hard charger, a rocket ship, if you will, breathing down his throat right now.
So Zachary Jolello holds serve in 3rd place. That would be his best performance in the Nitro National Series to date. But Devin Fair continues to lead the way. He's led the last, I believe, 10 laps of this race, which is the most he's led in a single event in the Nitro National Series. As DeGroat and DeLello battle side by side with Dinoto right behind them. It's a 3-car battle for 2nd position, and it looks like Sam Dinoto is going to try and get around Zachary DeLello here for 3rd.
Yeah, he is, and he's on that outside lane. That's kind of what you want to be able to pass, and he's going to get it done right into that corner right there. Very well done from the 00 car. He knows how to pass here. He's been moving up through the field for the whole race, so now he's got the 5 car to chase down, and then the 01 is driving away from him. So there's plenty of people still to pass, of course, for Sam Dinoto running in 3rd place.
Sam Dinoto, like you said, running in 3rd, chasing down Able to Grow, but they've still got Devin Fair and Curtis Stevenson in the lap car to try and deal with. But Fair is enjoying a 1.2 second lead over the field. That is a very big gap when you consider how small this track is. And checking at the stripe to see if it's gained any. He has gained 2 tenths almost on that lap. Checking in on the fastest lap of the race, Jared Jackson holds that with a 21:37. That'll be an extra point for him. Even though he was one of the ones that fell to the wayside on pit road, he'll take solace in that. Proves this car was fast. Walt was running up front, but just a shame what happened on pit road, because we would have had a very good battle between Devin Fair, Peter Onjak, and all of those guys. But now Onjak's running shotgun on the field 1 lap down. I'm curious to see how far up the field he'll be able to ride. But that was just an unfortunate break with that spin and that untimely pit stop.
Yeah, it wasn't a good situation at all, you know, for any of those front runners, other than Devin Fair, who was probably pretty happy to see some people that weren't really up front before running right behind him, and I bet you he's really, really happy to see that there's a lap car between himself and second place. Just gives you that extra buffer room where instead of able to grow, having to pass only him to get to the lead, it's going to have to pass two cars right there. So it's a good situation for the 01 car right now, and he's just got to hold suit and keep going forward. We're not even halfway through.
Still have 23 cars on the lead lap, all the way back to A.J. Jones in the 23rd position. Alex Forget-Berube running 26 down a lap. That is tough to see, but if he can get back on the lead lap, he'll be a real force, as we see Jared Jackson stuffing back to the field as the caution flag has come out once again to slow the field down. I believe this... Oh, and there's a stack up on the back straightaway. Car is trying to slow down.
Boy.
Pit road, Case and Cooper got some damage there. Kyle Corbett, Aaron Hall, Earl Sear, a couple cars banged up on that. But I believe the caution is for Alexa Lutchin in the 50 and Elijah Ironhouse in the 8. They were at the very tail end of this train. Is able to grope pulls on the pit road for service. Not sure if he ran over something or what, but he's on pit road. So that will elevate Sam Dinoto up to second place now, with this caution flag coming out on lap 45 for Lutchin and Ironhouse, because I'm assuming this caution was for them, because they were running, when the caution came out and the field slowed down, they were right at the tail end of the pack. So I believe both of them were still on the lead lap too. So I'm curious to see what brought this caution out. But so not been a good day, as you see, able to grow. Waiting for the field to cycle past on pit road. Kyle Corbett coming up to join him. Lutchin was running pretty deep in the pack. She's going to go 3 wide with Logan Williams, and she gets drifted up into Ironhouse's path. That's just an easy incident to make when you're going 3 wide on the short track. That's never a good thing to get yourself caught up into, as Lutchin pushes Ironhouse down into turn 3. She didn't appreciate contact, even though she was the one that kind of precipitated that with Logan Williams in the 1, but that's just still a racing incident. I'm sure they'll have a couple words after this is all over, but it's just a part of racing, and they'll both be able to continue after a little bit of repair work going.
Yeah, for sure. You know, and these two, they're going to be able to work it out, and I bet you that the 50 car, Alexa Lutchin there, is just a bit frustrated with how this season has turned. Alexa Lutchin was doing so good, was leading the points for a long time, and just recently that car has not been performing quite like it was. So there's a lot of frustration building in the 50 camp, and that's just a crash really puts the icing on the cake for something like that. Just an unfortunate situation. But now we've got Sam Dinoto, who has an excellent opportunity here to gain a bunch of points on the 3 car in this race, and they're going green right here. He's sitting in second place. Oh, that's not the green flag. We're going around half a lap still before we go green. Double zero really has a shot.
They do have double flag stands at this place, so it's easy to get confused. But when we came into this day, we knew that the 00, the 01, and the 03 would be tops of the entry list, but we might not have expected them top of the charts during the race, but here they are, first, second, and third. Green flag wise, we're back underway at Pittsburgh, and Devin Fair gets a good jump on the field once again. Will he clear Stevenson through 1 and 2? It'll be an interesting thing to keep an eye out for. No, Stevenson stays alongside him, but he pulls down to the inside, and that might allow Fair extra breathing room on the outside. He may clear off a 4. No,
not gonna happen.
Curtis Stevenson's on fire. And Alex in the 3 has gotten around Giovanni Pena in the 99. He could get back on the lead laps in this thing. And if he does that and catches another caution, he'll be right back in the thick of this.
Absolutely. You know, that's why these two are racing so hard right now. The 3 is on the outside trying to pass to become the first car lap down. Of course, that doesn't really matter except for passing the leader. You're going to have to get by the leader.
Elijah Ironhouse on pit road for more repairs, but you are right with that statement there. That if you can see Alex pressuring Devin Fair immensely, and Sam Dinoto meanwhile stuck back here battling Zachary DeLello and PQ for that second spot. So here comes Alex to the inside. I don't know if that's the right passing lane for him, but he's gonna do whatever he can really to try and get his lap back, and I think he'll be able to pull it off in this, not this lap, then within the next few, as Fair continues to lead the way ahead of Dinoto, DeLello, and now Keith Hughes has gotten around Zachary DeLello. That's for third place.
Boy, this is probably not what Devin Fair was expecting to have to deal with after this caution just came out, you know, dealing with the lap cars. Of course, they're starting to fall off a little bit now. The 01 found his groove finally. But yeah, this is a very fascinating situation. If any 1 or 2 of these lap cars can get ahead of Devin Fair, not only will that help Sam Dinoto have a shot at him, it'll also put them back on the lead lap, which is going to be a really important thing. With so many cars lapped down right now, you want to be back on the lead lap, because it just allows you to gain more positions, and if there's somebody that desperately feels like they need positions right now, it is the driver of that 3 car who sees the championship leader behind him in second place, just eating points and gaining and making a gap there.
One thing I noticed Alex was doing is he's holding up Dinoto enough to where he can't get past Fair for the lead and get that bonus point for leading the lap. That is critical in these battles when every point matters, and the top 2 went into today separated by just 1 point. It's going to be very important for each point to gain as Alex starts to draw a bead on Devin Fair once more, and Matthew Polanski has gotten around both Hughes and DeLello to take over third place, so put 2 competent Toyotas running second and third, going to try and chase down the lone Chevrolet of Devin Fair.
Yeah, and Devin Fair is followed by another Chevrolet. It's still that 3 car, and I just keep on pointing it out because I really think that this could cause some issue for the leader. If Alex is able to get up there and try to make a pass again, we know that he's going to be aggressive here. We know that he's going to really try to get past him. We saw it already, so that could cause problems. If I were to recommend something right now to Devin Fair, if that 3 car gets there, just let him go. Don't worry about him. He's not a challenge right now. You just need to stay in the lead. Don't get wrecked here. That would be my advice to the driver of the 01.
But Devin Fair holds a 1.7-second lead over Sam Dinoto, as it looks like David Dixon exiting the pits after some damage on his car. But it looks like he'll get out of the way of the leader, and now Devin Fair has 3 buffer cars between himself and Sam Dinoto. This is nothing but help Devin Fair, but Dinoto's closed the gap by about 2/10 despite that. So even with these buffer cars, he's got another one right behind him, Eric Monaco in the 73. But Devin Fair is still maintaining a solid gap ahead, and that's all he really needs to do is we take the halfway lap this time.
Yeah, you know, we're halfway through this race, and Devin Fair is looking really good, leading the way. But we've seen a couple of bizarre crashes, you know, when we weren't really, we didn't have a lot of cars really grouped up together. All of a sudden, they kind of flowed and came together and crashed and spun out. And that brought out a yellow, so it's always possible here. And in fact, right now, for around the second place driver in the 00 car, they are going too wide with the lappers trying to mix it up there. And here comes the 3 on the outside. This is important This is important for the 3 car because he's got to get around to get back on the lead lap.
It looks like he'll be able to do it going around the outside of Devin Fair through 1 and 2. But Fair's not giving up without a fight. He wants these buffer cars to help him because now Sam Dinoto is knifing his way through the lap traffic.
Yeah.
He's cut the gap down to 1.2. And now that Alex is ahead of Devin Fair, that clean air is no longer there for Devin Fair. And now there's only 1 buffer car between Sam Dinoto and the race leader.
Yeah, absolutely. The clean air is going to be a big deal, and you might be thinking, well, how come it's a big deal? We're at a short track. It is a big deal. You know, the wake that these cars make, it's just something that you really have to be aware of, and when you're driving. You know, Devin Fair hasn't raced in traffic in quite some time. He hasn't raced in traffic since they made adjustments on the pit stop, so he's in a situation that could cause him to slow down significantly here, as we've got a battle for second place.
Matthew Polanski to the inside, Sam Dinoto on the outside. It looks like Dinoto will easily win that battle. As, almost contact made with Eric Monaco in the 73, but they sorted out fairly well. And they resume their chase of Devin Fair with a 1.4-second lead over Dinoto and Polanski in third now. So these two really need to work on closing the gap to Fair in the 01. They didn't manage to do it this lap, but they still got about 54 laps to go in this race. So it's still possible if they can catch up. They might need a yellow, or they might need some lap cars to help them. See if Curtis Stevenson in the 66 can get around Devin Fair as well.
Yeah, that's going to be... It's all going to depend on these lap cars, I feel like, because the more lap cars that are able to pass Devin Fair, the more susceptible Devin Fair is going to be to this 00 car, who definitely wants to capitalize on the day, while the 3 car is still kind of down and struggling a lap down there. Of course, he is on the tail end of the lead lap, but without a caution, that's not going to matter. So the 00 trying to get all the points he can, trying to catch up to the 01, who leads right now and is just having a fantastic day for that team. You know, we knew coming into this race that he was a fantastic short track driver, and we knew that they were struggling, and now the performance is on for that car right now. This is a day to remember for sure.
He's led about 50 laps of this race so far, so yes, a very good day for Team J-Spring. And they still have Zachary DeLello in the 5th position as well, having a career day back there as well. So 2 cars running well in this race, and they even had Francois Chastain running in a good position up until that pit stop. So if I was Devin Fair, I would hang on to both of his drivers right now, because they have proven that given the right situation, they can run up front.
Yeah, and right now he's got a challenge, though. He's probably not thinking about it because he's got a 66 car of his tailpipe trying to pass him and get back on the lead lap. We'll see if it happens. They both went low on the clock. Oh my gosh, this is incredible, because here comes that 00 car right behind him.
And Matthew Polanski is on the gap is. Across the stripe, the gap has now closed to just 0.3 of a second, but he still has that buffer car of Stevenson right there as well. So they all dive to the bottom trying to block each other, but Fair continues to lead the way. Stevenson acts as the buffer between he and Sam Dinoto, but Polanski still in third. PQ's dropped back a ways. He's now 2.4 off the lead in 4th position. So right now, with about 45 laps to go in this race, it looks like it's going to be a 3-car battle for this win between Fair, Polanski, and Dinoto.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to me to see that 01 car falls so close to those racing behind him. You know, there's a crash or a spin for sure. They've all slowed down. There's smoke on the track. This will be a caution for sure. There it is. Oh,
and
boy,
looking to see looking to see who started this. As the caution flies on lap 75. That's good news for Alex in the 3. He gets his lap back.
Yeah.
But it's bad news for the 5 of Able to Grow, who started today
Oh,
in
no.
P6, if I remember correctly. But it looks like
Yeah.
his day is going to come to an abrupt end here on lap 74 here at Pittsburgh. On lap 74, it's a tough break for Abel-Degrode. He was having a good day, but here he is running with his teammate, Casey Cooper, in 51. Is he going to get hit, I believe, by A.J. Jones? Yes, he does, and he just got
hooked. Oh,
plowed into the outside wall by A.J. Jones. So, and it looks like Jones will be able to continue in this race, but you can see the smoke pouring out of that 5 car.
Yeah.
Abel-Degrode's day is done here at Pittsburgh. He will be the second retiree from this race after Zach Rogers' engine failure. We failed to mention that during the broadcast because we were so enthralled with the battle for the lead, but that's now 2 cars out of this race, 37 still running. But yeah, for Abel-Degrode, that's just an unfortunate break for that 5 team, but they have the summer break up ahead to regroup and try again in 3 weeks' time.
yeah, and I remember that 5 car making a pit stop on the last caution we had, one of the only ones that pitted there, so that put him back in the pack, and really that ended up not working out very well for that team. But somebody that did work out well for was Alex in the 3 car. As we've been mentioning, he got the lap back. He's coming back. He's going to be on the lead lap, and he can only gain points now. So he's going to try to get as close to the 0-0 as he can. That's going to be the goal there. And speaking of the 0-0, it looks like he's going to be in 3rd when we start. Matthew Polanski got by, putting himself in 2nd place.
So Alex will restart this race, barring further incident, in about 22nd to 23rd place on the lead lap, with Abel-Degrode falling out and A.J. Jones having to pit for repairs. That'll put him about 22nd. So Devin Fair continues to lead the way, which he has done for the vast majority of this race right now. And the lights have gone out on the pace car. We will be going green next time by, and you can see the lap cars start to form up behind pace car on the inside lane, and Devin Fair has got 2 very hungry Toyotas right behind them for the lead.
Absolutely. There's hungry Toyotas right there. There's a hungry Chevy on the bottom who wants to eat some cookies ahead of the leader, and then we've got some Dodges down there too. You know, everybody's going to be trying to pass him again. They know it's possible now. They know they can get by him in order to get their lap back if they want. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a mad dash for sure, and I think that Devin Fair's best bet here is to just stay clean. Don't get wrecked by a lap car right here. You got a good shot to win this race if you can just maintain the position that you have right now. So we're going to see what happens as they're going green right through here.
Green flag back in the air. We're underway once again in Pittsburgh. 19 cars on the lead lap. Devin Fair stretches his lead out once more. He's got a good start, and he's clear of Stevenson. Will Polanski follow suit? He's got 2 lap cars of Monaco and Stevenson to deal with. And he's also got Dinoto right there on his bumper to try and fend off. But meanwhile, Devin Fair takes 41 laps to go in this race, comfortably ahead of the remaining challengers. Matthew Polanski looks like he's going to get around the 66 of Stevenson there. Now it's up to Sam Dinoto. Can he get past and make this a proper 3-car battle for the victory? Because if he can't, I feel like this will be a battle between Polanski and Fair.
That was about the best restart that Devin Fair could have asked for right there. He got a great jump on the lappers on the inside. He jumped out to the front, but here comes Polanski to spoil the party because he's right there on the 01 car. It's not over yet. It's not over by a long shot for Devin Fair. So he's just got to stay calm here. He's got to find his groove. He's been faster than everybody today, so we'll see how it goes. In the closing laps here, everybody's going to start to get anxious and get antsy and want to make moves, and you know, it could lead to some more crashes. And we've seen the leaders crash today already, so it's totally possible. Anything can happen.
38 laps to go here at Pittsburgh. We've got Polanski chasing down Devin Fair and Dinoto trying to clear the lap traffic. It's going to be a battle between these 3, I believe. They've been the fastest cars all day long, aside from when Peter Onjak dominated the first 25 laps of this race. But Devin Fair still has a comfortable lead, but Polanski's just got to find his groove, find his line, and try and take it away. That's all he can do, is just pressure Devin Fair until hopefully the 0-1 makes a mistake. But he hasn't made one yet all day, so making one now would be very out of character.
Yeah, the best way for the 0-1 car here to defend the position is to just keep running at the same line. Don't let the 18 on the outside, because if you let the 18 on the outside, he's going to be able to pass. So you want to keep him to the inside. The inside is not a passing lane. You can't do it down there. We've seen it a bunch. You try, and you can't, because you can't stay in the throttle. So if you can keep everybody to the bottom of you, then you're going to be able to stay out there. So we'll see what happens. Here we go. The 0-0 making a pass on the outside. We're going to see how it works right here. The 66 doesn't have the momentum. The 0-0 pulls away. And now it's 1, 2, 3 are the cars on the lead lap racing for the win. And we've got Polanski just breathing down the neck of Devin Fair right now. And he's going for the bottom. It's not going to work. They're side by side though. Oh, bro, he's really trying. You know what? It just takes me to say something about it for it to start finally working in this race. Oh, the 0-1's going to get a good run here. Oh, boy. It's going to be close. What's going to happen? I don't know.
Polanski leads the lap, his first of the day. Yeah. But Devin Fair still has the high side to work.
Wow.
And
he's still there.
Yeah, Polanski dives low. That's going to be a big boon for Devin Fair as he goes to the outside and he retakes the lead. Devin Fair back out front. He's coming to start lap 89.
Oh my goodness, Matthew Polanski was clear. He was clear for just an instant. If he had come up the track and blocked the 0-1, he would have kept the lead and it would have been very difficult to get him back. But the 0-1 had a fantastic run coming out of the corner on the outside lane and just took it away. That was an incredible battle.
And now we've got another battle on our hands between Dinoto and Polanski. They're going to battle for second position as Devin Fair starts to pull away a little bit. But these two are going to try to decide amongst themselves who is best equipped to fight Fair in the 0-1. Because these two are very evenly matched. I'm just wondering if these two are going to have some issues trying to get around each other while they're trying to battle to get close to Fair, because Fair's already pulled out about 7/10 lead.
Sam Dinoto thinks that he's the guy best equipped. He's on the outside lane right now. He's going to be able to get a run here. We saw it happen with the 0-1 a little bit ago with the run coming out of the corner. There he goes.
Then again,
I don't know if he's clear yet.
Then again, no one is better at running the bottom than Matthew Polanski. We saw him take the lead off the bottom just a few laps ago before losing it to Fair. Now Fair runs the bottom. That's going to allow Dinoto to close right back up. And now the gap will shrink even more. The 0-0 chasing down the 0-1 for the lead. We've got less than 30 laps to go. And this race is still yet to be decided between these three cars.
Oh, Devin Fair, don't let the 0-0 on the outside lane. This race is going to be over if the 0-0 gets to the outside lane. We're going to see if he can. I don't think he's going to be able to this time. He's too far back. He's just got to be patient. We've still got so many laps left in this race. They're racing like it's the last one. He goes to the bottom. A big move, but it's not going to be enough. They're staying single file for the moment. Oh, my gosh.
Don't look now, but Keith Hughes has joined this battle as well in the bright blue Busch Chevrolet in fourth. So this is now a four-car battle for the lead between Polanski, Dinoto, Hughes, and your race leader, Devin Fair. You take 25 laps to go in this race. It's still a positive. Anything can still happen in this race. That was almost contact between Polanski and Dinoto. These guys are battling it out for second. But as they do that, Fair just starts pulling away more and more. They need to settle this battle between them quickly if one of them is going to have any hope of catching that 0-1.
You're absolutely right, because the more they battle side by side, the slower they're going to be going. It's just the nature of how it works, and we've got Keith Hughes right there as well, and this is double 2x2 right here with the lapper as well. I mean, these guys are not gaining any time. Look at that. It's the gap is enormous now. You know, they're going to have to really figure it out and see who can get up there. I mean, they've got plenty of time. There's still about 23 laps left in this thing, but Devin Fair is just pulling away.
That is true. With this 3-car battle for second place brewing, he's extended his gap to a full second. We'll see if Fair can hold on to this thing for about 23 more laps. But if Polanski and Dinoto have anything to say about it, this race is far from over. They're starting to track him back down. They gained about 0.2 of a second on that lap alone. So they still got something left in the tank to try and take on Devin Fair, but it's going to be really close. They need to get to the outside of them if they're going to have any hope at all of taking this win away. But they're starting to close the gap in, at least Polanski is. So this could still be a battle for the win between them.
Yeah, for sure. You know, Polanski is on the move here. He's starting to pull away from the 00 car, and he's starting to gain on the 01. So he's moving up through there. He's faster. He's gaining time. We'll just see if he's able to get there and get to the outside. That's what it's going to take. It's going to take him getting to the outside lane to pass the 01 car. That's what you're going to have to do if you want to win this race. And so far, nobody's been able to do it. And the 18 got there low, but I'm not sure if it'll happen again. The 01 knows now. He knows how to get there. So we'll see how it goes. The laps are ticking away.
Got 20 laps to go here at Pittsburgh, and Devin Fair has led the majority of them. But Matthew Polanski sniffed the lead for 1 lap. He wants to make it more than that as he goes for the lead on Devin Fair. We've got 19 laps to go at the line. Polanski has to back off quite a ways, and that's going to allow Dinoto to close back in on him. The gap is now back up to half a second. So if there's anything left for Dinoto and for Polanski, they've got to use it right now. We're closing in on the end of this race, and Fair has shown no weakness at all in this race. He knows how to pass, he knows how to defend, he's got the whole package here at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, well, if there's one thing that's going to slow Fair down, it's going to be that lap car that is ahead. I'm not exactly sure the situation with that lap car right there, but it could cause problems. We've seen it before this season.
Looks like
we'll see how it goes this time.
Yeah, it looks like one of the Sol Speed cars.
Yeah.
Either Jones or Dixon in that ride. It looks like A.J. Jones in that particular 77 Dodge. But right now,
yeah, it's a damaged vehicle.
It's gonna be a while before Fair catches him. But right now, we've got Polanski and Dinoto fighting it out for second place as we're closing in on 15 to go. This is gonna be an interesting battle to see if one of them can get a run on the other. And no, they've both ripped it. They've both taken each other out. Matthew Polanski and Sam Dinoto have battled it out this entire race for second place. They've had one battle too many, and that's both their races over on lap 105. The caution flag is out. Devin Fair will lead the back with the yellow flag, but now, with his 2 main challengers gone, this has just turned into Devin Fair's race to lose.
An incredible situation. I mean, that's just insane. Look out for the cars that are slow. My gosh, that was just, I can't even believe what I just watched. That's incredible. Twice in one race that's happened, battling for position. Just absolutely incredible.
So, Sam Dinoto may be able to continue in this race after some repair work, but his chances of winning are over. Matthew Polanski will not even get to see the end of this race. His day is over just like that on lap 105. With 15 to go, he was battling it out hard for second place, but just had one battle too many, and now his day is done. So this is the battle for second place, and one of them had to make a move to try and get around to try and chase after Fair. Dinoto tried to send it in hard, and Polanski wasn't going to give up the spot. Yeah. And from there, they just collided. Dinoto goes off, but Polanski's day is done. That's going to be a tough talk to be had between the 2 Toyota drivers at the end of this one, because there is hard racing, but you got to understand, you got to give people a break every now and then. Well clear of this, but he just gets hooked in the right rear by Dinoto, and I don't know who to put the blame on there, because Dinoto made an over-aggressive move, but Polanski rather made an over-aggressive block, and when you put those two together, it never ends well, and from there, it just ended their days. It's a tough break for them, and this is going to be a huge championship implication for Sam Dinoto, because he's now outside the top 30. And have a look at who's in ninth place, the number 3 of Alex Forget-Berube, who has put on the recovery drive of the race from a lap down all the way back up to the top 10. So now
I was just looking at and that's incredible, because we were talking this whole race about how the 00 car was going to get a huge advantage here, because the 3 car was stuck a lap down, then the 3 car gets back on the lead lap, and then the 00 crashes, and what do you know, it's completely shifted to the reverse of what we were talking about earlier. Now Alex in the 3 is going to be the one with the advantage after this race.
Sam Dinoto currently runs 1 lap down in the 30th position. And with Alex running 9, that is a 21-point swing right there. And neither of them have led today, so it's a 21-point swing in the favor of Alex Forget-Berube. But we still got we're going to come to the green with 11 laps to go, and now Devin Fair has a whole new cast of characters to play with in these final 11 laps as he tries to hang on for his first career win. As a matter of fact, 4 of the top 5, the entire top 4, have yet to score a victory in the One Up Nitro National Series. So this is going to be a fun battle for their first career win, no matter who takes the checkered flag at the end of this race. Green flag back in the air. We're underway once again here at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we'll see if anybody has any more crashes up front. Looks like the 01 didn't get quite as good of a start as he did last time. He does get down in front there and clear himself ahead of the lappers again, and that's going to be pretty good, because Keith Hughes has not done so. He's still stuck on the outside lane, and it allows the 01 to just drive away.
10 laps to go across the line. Devin Fair, he's had a top 5 before. He got that at Denver, but he's never won a National Series race. Remember, at Pensacola to start the season, he was hit with a 25-point penalty for impeding the leaders and causing a huge last lap crash that took Sam Dinoto out of that race. So he started this season in a negative points hole. But now, that's the farthest thing from his mind, because now, with 9 laps to go, he's pulling away from the field, and he's looking set to take his first win here at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, meanwhile, second place has gotten clear of the lappers. Will there be enough time? I'm not sure. Is the car strong enough? Again, I'm not sure. This 01 has dominated the whole race. But yeah, what a roller coaster of a season it's been for him. Just, starting on pretty much the low end of the spectrum there in negative points. Really not something you want to do. And now leading the race and looking at, just smelling victory right now in this one. He's still got to defend.
7 laps to go from Pittsburgh, and Keith Hughes is closing in. Both these drivers are looking for their first career win, and Hughes looking to give ZD Autosport their first win under their new ownership. Keith Hughes has been the best of the ZD Autosport cars this season, and now under ownership of Keith and Kenneth Grant, these cars are proving that they can still run up at the front of the best of them, but he's got to get around the hungry Devin Fair, and right now, as they come to 5 laps to go, I'm just not so sure if anything can stop the drive and the intensity that is under the helmet of Devin Fair right now.
Yeah, we'll see. It's going to be an interesting battle. If there is a battle, that's for sure. We're coming down to the wire here. There's not many laps left. It's short track. There's only a few to go. We're gonna see. I think you're right. I don't think the 11 car is gonna be able to get there.
But with Devin Fair out in front, coming to 4 laps to go in this race, it's still anybody's guess. We've seen people blow up from the lead before. We've seen, as we said at Pensacola, we've seen Devin Fair impact the leader's day. With 2 laps to go, they got taken out in a wreck. So it's never over until the checkered flag flies. But for Devin Fair, he can smell his first victory around the corner, and he's just desperate to hang on and hold off to 3 laps of racing to go.
Yeah, Devin Fair has got to be extremely focused on this race right now. He's focused on nailing every single corner, making sure it's right, making sure there's nobody right on him, right behind him, because we've seen the leaders crash in this race a couple times, so it's very possible that it can happen. Just hard, aggressive racing. Everybody's going to be aggressive if there is a battle. So it's just all about nailing the corners and making sure you're keeping it straight.
2 laps of racing to go, 1.5 now to go. Devin Fair and Keith Hughes, both of them trying to get their first career win. One of them will get their thrill of victory, the other will suffer the agony of being the first loser. As the caution flag has come out on the white flag lap, this will end the race, and it will end any hope of Keith Hughes winning today. It's Devin Fair, who, it may be a bit of an anticlimactic end to this race as the field bunches up behind the pace car once again. It looks like Kenneth Grant may have gotten a piece of this. Sam Dinoto's back there. Aaron Hall may have a little bit. Peter Onjak's getting spun out, coming to caution. But Devin Fair has just put on an absolute clinic this race. He'll have led 90 laps today, the most by far that anybody will have led today. And as they come off turn 4 behind the pace car, Devin Fair, after the agony of Pensacola, will have the thrill of Pittsburgh. He is your winner after a chaotic day at the Steelback Stadium that saw his main challengers take each other out. And Devin Fair just put on a clinic, and he saved the day for Team Dayspring. A team he owns, he gets to bring them their first ever win.
That's incredible. What an absolute monster of a drive for that 01 car today. Just very well done. You have to applaud such a thorough beatdown. As soon as he took the lead, there was no looking back. He just held it the entire way. No problems in the pit road. That caused a lot of problems for a lot of people today. So nothing going wrong there. Just everything went absolutely right, and he got himself a win.
Keith Hughes will come home second. Zachary DeLello gets his best career finish in third. That's 2 Dayspring cars in the podium places. For at the end of the day, he'll come home third. Brett Bishop, we didn't mention him all day, comes home fourth. And how about Alex in the 3 with the recovery drive of the race? So it's Aaron Hall going into turn 1. He may make contact with Kenneth Grant, and he gets hit by Autumn Koger in the 2, making her series debut in the 2 car. So Hall and Grant, well, Grant was a lap down, so he won't suffer much out of this result. Aaron Hall was going to finish in the top 10, but he will fall down the running order a little ways thanks to his little bit aggressive move on Grant and Koger there at the end. But it didn't have much of an impact on today's race. It was still a wild day and an exciting day here at the Steelback Stadium. It's a great return to arena racing, and I have a feeling that this track is here to stay.
Oh, absolutely. This was a totally fun race. We had a good mix of caution flags right there. The crashes weren't terribly hard, so, it's always good to see drivers safe and okay after crashes. And, and overall, it was just exciting racing. We saw a lot of good side-by-side battles today, and it was just a really fun race to watch. So I do hope we return to this track. And for Devin Fair, congratulations on the win there. That was a stellar performance, and I can't wait for the next one,
which will be in 3 weeks' time after the summer break here for the One Up Racing Series. We'll be back at the Valkenburg Air Base here out at the Netherlands. It'll be an interesting, our first air base race in the One Up Nitro National Series. It'll be a tight road course. It'll be very interesting to see who can manage their stuff best there out at overseas, and we hope you'll join us for that one as well out in Valkenburg. So from Duke Anzac and from myself as well, we say goodbye from the Steelback Stadium here at Pittsburgh, where Devin Fair has just nailed the first victory of his One Up Nitro National Series career.